Yo, what's going on, guys? So an absolutely crazy day out there, but it all really made sense. I'm gonna go over that right now with the chart, so let's get started. Um, so going into last night's video, I said we had to be careful because NQ, if this order block held here on NQ, this is your daily order block, right? This down candle between an up candle and then this candle closed above it, making this in order block, right? And we see how price respects it, and that's where we got our pump today. And then remember yesterday this was a daily inverse because we closed below it. And then today you see we closed back above it, so this is no longer valid. So it's a very bullish sign. I actually think it's possible that this right here can turn into another daily order block. If we close above it tomorrow, then we can use this, to keep on expanding higher. Just something I'm kind of thinking. It doesn't have to happen, uh, but okay, so coming into today, let's go down to. Remember last night I said I think we're gonna get this is why you can't just short. You get strong candles down like this, right? But just like going up, like we're not gonna go straight down, right? So I was all night last night. I said, oh, I think we're just gonna 50% retrace back up because the market moves in 50% retracements, and the market moves imbalance to imbalance, which are your fair value gaps, right? So I mean, we always come back, refill these at some point. And then we notice. So we came into today, and I was like, okay, well, last night during London, we took out 50%, right? We took out 50%, and I was like, oh boy. I mean, if we reject here, we could start heading down, and then we have these nice relative equal lows down here, and you notice if we get rid of this, these lows did not take these lows, so this is kind of like relative equal lows. Like the market might want to draw here and come down and take all these lows out, right? Um, so I mean, it was kind of a little bit like after we rejected here. And remember this morning I said I'm watching this 15 minute and I'm watching this 15 minute, and then whichever one broke was where we were going to head during the morning hours. Well, during the morning hours, you see we closed below it. We never got back above it. Obviously, we retested it. We went down. I'll show you where we bounced here. So we closed below this to go down, hit 50% for a bullish position. So obviously, looking at it from here, we hit 50%. We hit this 15-minute FEG above our 50%. And then we started coming down. It's like, oh, we might be short. We might be coming down to these lows. But then it's possible, like, oh, we hit 50% here, but maybe we're just going to hit 50% to come back lower. And let's draw our 50% again. We'll get rid of this line, draw our 50% from bullish position. So instead of going from up here to up here, we're going to go from this high to this high. What do you see? I'm going to go to this chart for this one, and I'm going to draw ES and NQ because this applies to both of them. So what do you see? Let's go down to the hourly chart here. So bullish position up here, down to here. What what do you see? You see this fair value hold, and then you also see this one hold as well, right? So let's see. I'm not gonna take. And then you see we held we so basically we came down. We hit 50%, and then we 50% back down the pump. And since we bounce here, and then we're gonna probably go up and take today's high, I think I'm gonna be leaning bullish into tomorrow. But we have to be careful because we do have the SMT, right? We have the SMT where ES already took today's high, and Q hasn't. So it's possible we could dump. It's the same thing that happened here, right? So if we go to ES and we look at NQ, you see this high right, this low right here, ES took it, and Q did not. And then what happens? We end up pumping. So I mean, it's possible that like if NQ does not go and take today's high, maybe we come back down. Maybe we do a 50% down, and then up higher as possible. But it just so like the same thing that happened here where we pumped could happen right here where we did not. However, tonight if we take out today's high and we keep pumping, I'm gonna be watching this 15-minute fair value gap right here. If we close above this, at 1709, 17,009. I think we're just going right back to 17,666 and then 17,093. If we reject it, we're just gonna come back down. Probably test this. We'll test this 50 minute, and then this will tell us whether we come back down, take out this low, and then maybe go down for those relative equal lows. But right now, leaning bullish, just because if we were going to dump from, like, if this was a sell model, you would expect 50% here from the bearish one. So you would expect, your 50% here, and then you would expect this low to get taken out, and then we push lower, probably down to our next low, right? And then maybe we get 50% back up. But the fact we only went down 50% here and then bounced from our FEG, and then we go back up higher, it's a really, really bullish sign. Then you see we have now got an hourly FEG here that I will be watching. So whichever gives on this hourly or the 15-minute that I just showed you right here, I think is the direction we head tomorrow. Remember, it is PC tomorrow, so we could wick down, take those relative equal lows down there at 757, and then maybe go back higher. So just have to be aware of that. And then if we're looking over here on ES, I mean, if you're looking at it, same thing, right? 50% up, down. What happens if we draw it from here to here? Let's do this. You hit this. You hit this. What do you see? You see fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, all filled in, right? And then you see the lowest fair value gap hold. So that holds. We go up and we take a brand new high. And you see we're not really rejecting off this high. Like if we're going to reject here, you would expect us to see displacement down. You see we're not getting that right now. So same thing as NQ. I'm watching this hourly fair value gap going into this evening, and then I believe there's a 15-minute as well on ES sitting right here. So same thing as NQ. I want to see ES push over this at 48.16 to take us back up to that 48.30 level, and then up to 48.40 if we displace over this high, and then obviously 1766 and 1793 if we push through the 50-minute on NQ. But I just thought it was awesome today. Like the 50% moves were like absolutely textbook today. I just wanted to share them with you guys and show them how you can use them. Like like last night, I was just confident because like once we start getting displacement up, we inverse this hourly right here. Like we have nowhere else to go. Like if we're gonna inverse this hourly here, you see we close above it. Yeah, we're at least gonna go up to this hourly fair value gap, but the market moves from premium or from discount, which is under the point 0.5 fib, to premium above the point 0.5 fib, and then and then we might reject. But most of the time, you're this is where you can take a long position to up to that point 0.5 fib, and then maybe take a and then trim there, maybe go to break even and see if you can't catch a runner. But like most of the time, you can catch longs up to that premium. So that's pretty much it for ES and NQ. Something else I was watching today. We'll go down to a smaller time frame chart here, trying to throw some stuff in here for you guys. So obviously we were bouncing here. Also, I wanted to point out it was also the 4-hour discount. Remember, if you draw your fib from here to here, this would be your under your point 0.5 fib. So we also held that hourly on NQ, but we also held this 4-hour as well. So we are still living from a 4-hour, and then this is going to be a 4-hour order block here when his candle. I guess the candle did close already, and you guys know how order blocks work. Like we might come back and retest it, but this probably holds. This probably tells us that we're probably going to draw back up to 1773 as our next like higher time frame target, because these tell us order flow and where price wants to go. So what I was watching kind of today, obviously we had our dump here, right? And then we inverse this 15 back up, and I was like, okay, well I know for sure, like I don't know for sure, that's a bad word to say, but you see like we had this dump, this dump, this dump, or we took a short, we shorted down here, and we got here, and then we obviously got stopped at even. We set our stops at break even, and I was like, well, if we get stopped at our break even, which was at 16,855, which was like down in here, you see we came back up. I said, oh, it's most likely that we're just gonna 50% back up before we reject, right? And I was watching this 15-minute here, and there's also a 5-minute combined with this, and I was like, okay, well, actually, here, I was actually watching this level right here, so I was like, oh, well, we might return to a premium. So if we get a long here, and then like, okay, if we get a long from here, and then we start displacing up, we're most likely going to at least return to a premium. So you could have like targeted premium there, and then like, okay, well, if we're if we're in a real sell model, like we should reject above the point 0.5 here. We should reject at this 5 minute and this 15 minute. You see, we did not. We rejected it at first, but then what do you see? The market used these 15-minute order blocks right here. You see how the market let's delete this. You see how the market just uses these order blocks. Bodies respect the order blocks, and then we just continue to push higher. So kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart, you know, with this order block, kind of seeing the same thing here with NQ just pushing up. So everything, so you see how you can use order blocks. I've been showing you guys that. But yeah, so as soon as we seen we were like getting over this 15-minute, we it kind of told us. You see how we close, we retest, we never close back below, and you could have longed this back to, you know, this high, this high, this high, this high. And I kind of showed you guys that on ES as well. Let's get rid of all this junk here. I mentioned this 15-minute on ES, and ES had these equal highs up here, right? ES had these equal highs, so we knew, like, obviously we never got like a clean close over to enter. We were already in NQ long at that time, but we knew, like, look, order block held, order block came back. It didn't it? I mean, the wick got tested, the body never did. Look, order block here, boom, or order block here, boom. So, and then it rolled it up, equal highs, boom, high of day, right? And we also had like nice little LRLR here as well that, you know, carried the market up. So it was very clean afternoon. The play we took was, let's get rid of all this here. Our play was in here. We caught it just before the big move happened. We were just kind of sitting at chop, right? We were sitting at the like a point 0.5 fib of the day, but we kind of seen like, oh, we have a huge sell model here. Oh, might actually just turn into a big buy model. So um, you see, you could have caught this 3-minute inverse down here at low of day, and I just held for whatever for the whole thing. But obviously, those are very tough plays to get. But the play we took, the only thing I'd really seen, because there was nothing clean on the 5-minute, it was just like we were just chopping in here, so there was no good FVGs for us to inverse. Um, so I watched this 3-minute right here, and I was like, okay, we closed above it. Well, we got in a little bit before because like we could tell by the speed and momentum we were gonna close above it. And so we got in at like 16,890. We obviously we went to 907 here. We trimmed. We set our stops to break even, and then we just rode up for, like, you know, this is all very clean like downtrend right here that wanted to be ran. So we trimmed it, you know. Well, we didn't actually get a trim at 920 because the market was moving just so fast. We didn't have a chance. We trimmed up here at like 938, 940, and then we ended up holding until ES took its high day right here. So that was the one play today. And then obviously the short that we trimmed, but we also, and then was a winning play because we trimmed and then we got stopped at break even. So really with that, YM did take today's high as well, so we got to be aware of that. Other than that, hope you guys learned something today. I mean, just a very textbook day when it comes to paying attention to your 50% retracements and knowing where you are. You see why whenever we 50% down, like when we're way down here, you don't want to short because the market can come back up and retrace 50% at any time, and then you can use that to either long or short to get up to your premium or your discount ranges. So hope you guys had a fantastic day. Enjoyed making this video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.